Ready when you are.
Welcome to this training session for exhibitors to learn about the virtual Boardwalk Seminar 2021. I'm Edward Capozzi, the president of NJAJ. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the Boardwalk Seminar. Thank you to all for joining us. We are recording this training session, so if you want to watch it again, you can. We will also make the recording available to exhibitors who are unable to join us today. We are very pleased to move forward with the Boardwalk Seminar 2021 as a virtual event. We are also very excited that our installation reception is taking place on June 10, 2021, and will be our first in-person event since February 2020. This is another opportunity for you to interact with NJAJ members. Please go to the NJAJ website for more information. Now let me introduce Kate Riley, who will be succeeding me as president and currently is the chair of the NJAJ Educational Foundation.
Thank you, Ed, and thank you to all of you for joining us. We are grateful that you have continued your support of NJAJ. Your presence here today and at the Boardwalk Seminar 2021 is extremely important to us, and we greatly appreciate your attendance and involvement. As we did last year, we have migrated all of the educational programs from being live
Join the meeting.
Virtual. And most importantly, for this session, we have worked to maintain a virtual exhibit hall so that attendees can connect with you. We have learned much over the past year and have responded to the feedback we received from exhibitors at our other virtual events. We've scheduled specific times when the exhibit hall is open and there are no classes going on, so attendees are free to visit with you. All the exhibitors will have Zoom rooms where you can visit with the attendees. The Zoom rooms are similar to having attendees at a live event approach your booth. All of the educational programs and the virtual exhibit hall are taking place on the Pathable platform. With that, let me turn the program over to Noreen Conroyer, CMP, NJAJ's Manager of Meetings and Special Events, to give us an overview of Pathable and its capabilities.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to move us through a PowerPoint. Okay, so we are here to talk today about the Boardwalk Seminar. As I'm going through, if you have questions, I think chat might be the best way to do it. So that way either Megan and Corny can answer or I can answer as to depending on where we are in the flow of things. I really would encourage you to ask questions as we're going through just to make sure that we are getting you the information that you need to understand the platform, to use the platform, and to get the most out of this experience. So we've developed a page, nj-justice.org/exhibitor resources. And we tried to put a lot of the content we're covering today, any forms you may be looking for, user guides you may find helpful, all in one centralized location for exhibitors to be able to access. So that's nj-justice.org/exhibitor resources. This is Boardwalk at a glance. So you can see we've got a lot going on. We have many different programs happening. This is also found on the website. So we can see all the different programs happening. It can also help you plan about when the exhibit times will be, what track attorneys might be coming in or going out of as they are interacting with you. So we are continuing to grow and innovate in this space. Since over the past year, we've learned a lot. We've implemented a lot of lessons learned as we go through and think about how to make sure that you are making the connections that you need to make in order to introduce your products and services to our members and the attendees at the Boardwalk Seminar. So one of the newer things that we've introduced is our ambassador program, and we continue to refine that as we get more feedback about what works, what doesn't work, what connections are most meaningful. And to that end, I just wanted to emphasize that we remain open to suggestions and ideas about how to make your experience better. So if there's something that's not working for you 100%, we want to hear about it because we want to understand how we can partner with you to make sure that you are making the connections that you need to make. And yes, we can circulate that, that URL that I read out after the training. So that's nj-justice.org/exhibitor resources. So what to expect? So we have on-platform marketing. So these are the things that are taking place on the Pathable platform, right? So we have ways that you communicate with the attendees. You have the Zoom room chats, you have the materials that you're presenting, both video materials, file materials that they can take and download with them. So your overall display on the conference website. We are reminding attendees to go and visit your pages and your booths at the start of every single one of those webinars that you saw on the agenda at a glance. And we also are doing a video orientation for attendees very similar to this one, so that they can get a sense about how to use the platform. During that orientation, we specifically train them about how to visit exhibitors, so really trying to close that knowledge gap. We have dedicated exhibit hours for when attendees are able to meet with you. And that's something that we learned really early on in this process, that we want to make sure people have dedicated time to connect with you. We also have a strong gamification component that takes place on the platform. So attendees do get points for interacting with you, for watching the videos, downloading the files, going in the Zoom room. All of those build to points. We have seen a lot of success in that, and people, as I feel like I don't need to tell you guys, but our membership can get quite competitive. And so it is very fun to watch them use this gamification and really, really rack up those points, particularly because we weight the points. So interactions with the exhibitors are a strong way to gain points. We are also doing the Passport for Prizes program, which that has translated very well into the virtual world. People continue to be excited about the prizes that are available to them, and also getting those signatures, circulating that form. So the Passport program is still there. Exhibitors donate the prizes, the attendees go booth to booth collecting the needed number of signatures, having those engagement points, and then we get those forms and draw winners at the end of the seminar. So that's on the platform. What about off the platform? So we just wanted to take a minute to talk about pre-seminar and post-seminar, and just things that aren't happening on the Pathable platform. So when some of these are sponsorship level dependent. So if you have questions about how you might engage in a specific one, please connect with us so that we can answer the specifics of your scenario. But we do have exhibitor logos and mention of exhibitors on the direct marketing, direct mail that we do. We have at certain sponsorship levels, you actually can get a profile question included. So when somebody onboards to the Pathable platform, it asks them like first name, last name, and then we can actually embed a question at that point. The use case there is if you wanted to know if they have a certain kind of case or a certain product or service that they're looking for. Essentially, they would be tagging themselves using this question, and then you'd be able to search the people tab for that basically created demographic. So helping you do a little bit of market research while people are onboarding onto the platform. We do acknowledgements of support on social media, tagging you, interacting with you. There is pre-seminar email marketing and direct mail marketing and digital advertising. These are all opportunities where we mention exhibitors, mention speakers. For example, if an exhibitor has a speaker in a particular program, we'll make that connection in the marketing, and then also the platform helps make that question link too. We also have pre and post seminar mailing lists, and these are their physical mailing addresses, but because I handle a lot of the marketing and stuff, I can tell you we have seen an uptick in the response for direct mail. So I know that maybe this time a year ago, there was some concern about, are these physical mail pieces getting to people? And I can tell you that yes, they are. When we push out direct mail, we do see it's a very clear response to a direct mail piece that we sent out. So I would really encourage you, if you want to use the pre or post seminar mailing list for a postcard or a mailing, that to please take advantage of that opportunity as people kind of get back into the office and start interacting with their mail more. Your company description is emailed out to, so it's emailed out to all attendees of the conference, but it's also emailed out to our whole membership. So this is some of these things, it's good to think about these marketing opportunities, not just within the scope of the Boardwalk seminar, but generalized touch points with the membership, with the attendees. And that company description is one of them. That is going to reach a broader audience than just those attending the meeting. And it's important to get those to us and really think about how those are crafted so that it's really engaging for those who are reading it. At certain sponsorship levels, you will have access to a banner ad on our website and other potential digital marketing efforts around the website that we are working really hard behind the scenes to continue to improve and create more optionality for everyone there. The organizations that join us are also mentioned in brief articles, and to emphasize, the content is available for a year. And for those of you who joined us for example, Boardwalk 2020, you will be pleased to know we continue to get registrations for Boardwalk 2020. I think the way that people are engaging with content, that desire to have on-demand content, perhaps falling a little bit behind on their credits, needing to catch up, it's been really interesting for us to see not only are people really interested in the live and the interactivity that we're able to provide on this platform, but we do see a long tail for the registrations about people wanting to get the on-demand content and still interact with the platform as a whole. So they're not just buying into one webinar, right? They're buying into the experience. So that's some of the off-platform marketing opportunities that we really wanted to lay out there and make sure that folks knew about, that you're taking advantage of, and that you're really thinking about this as a holistic approach and all the different tools that NJAJ has to help you make these connections. So how can you make this a two-way street? So participation in the Passport Prize. Again, like I said, people still get excited about those prizes. We still see a lot of participation. We encourage folks to participate in the Passport program. Email and direct mail your existing client base. Let them know that you're going to be here, that this is an opportunity to meet with you at the Boardwalk seminar and that they should register. If somebody is speaking with us from one of your organizations, highlighting that. I mean, that is thought leadership in your field, right? And we have speaker ambassador assets, social media assets that are designed specifically for speakers that we are happy to create for you. We just need a headshot and we will put in the topic name, the name of the speaker. I think they come out really good. And then you can post them on your channels, tag us, and kind of get some momentum there. It's also just to remember that the Pathable system has messaging capabilities. So during the dates of the conference, those messages push directly to people's emails. Outside the dates of the conference, they do not. So it's a little bit of a snapshot access, but it's a good idea to be thoughtful about how you push out the messages, because we do monitor volume. And we don't want people to be inundated. But if you are using the People tab to filter people either by that, profile question, depending on your sponsorship level, or just topic area, geographic area, if you know of a particular firm that you're looking to make a connection with, all of those are search functions that you can do in the system and really target your messaging towards those people as you reach out. We have assets, social media assets for exhibitors to use. These are here. They are provided as high definition, high resolution images on that exhibitor resource page that I mentioned before, that I noted Megan and Courtney chatted out. Thank you very much. And so you can download them there, and we encourage you to use these and tag us if you please. So the Pathable platform. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get an email, and the email is going to look a lot like this. So it's going to have our logo at the top. You're going to see a yellow button that says, go to organization settings. When you click that button, you will see this claim your account. So first name, last name, email will likely be already populated for you because you clicked off from your email. You create a password and you log in. Now, if you have joined us previously, you do need to set a unique password. You do need to set a password for Boardwalk 2021, but the system will remember things like your profile picture sometimes carries over. So it may remember certain elements of your profile from the past. And then and I'll dive into Pathable Live. There's just some things that are a little easier to show via screenshot. So this is your person profile. So your organization has a profile, and you as a individual entity person have a profile as well. So make sure that your people profile, you have your profile picture, you have your bio, you're tagged correctly. That is what shows up on the people page. And then you have what your exhibitor booth page looks like. And that is if you come to the top right and click on account and click edit my organization, that will bring you to the behind the scenes of your booth. So let me transition to a new screen share here. So this is Pathable. This is the homepage of Pathable. We have, some quick links for the attendees to get them where they need to go quickly, of which Exhibitors is one of them. That Exhibitors page bounces them here. The exhibitors are listed in sponsor order. You can see the passport. Oh, and I mean, obviously we're touring winter seminar right now. And the reason I'm doing that is because I wanted to show you a populated people's tab, which we haven't begun loading people into Boardwalk yet. So here, this exhibitor page, you can see the sponsors listed, again, in sponsor order. And you can click on who you'd like to go to. And so if I come over here to Boardwalk, I actually went ahead and loaded just us at the moment in. And you can see this is what it looks like, right? You have the logo, you have a banner, you have a description, and you have videos and files that you can add in. Something that is new for this time is when I click on manage, previously there was just a single tab. I believe it might have been called files, where you just kind of dumped everything together. And if it was a video, the system would embed it. And if it wasn't, it just would list as a file. They've added a lot more nuance here. So this is great. So you have videos. You can decide which videos should be highlighted in a video carousel. And then you have files. You can decide which files are going to be highlighted. And so a lot more flexibility here to control what the attendee is seeing. If once you load in, you have questions about this, Megan and I are only an email away. It's often easiest for us to answer these kinds of questions when we're looking directly at your content, and we can kind of brainstorm with you about what the best way to display some of this stuff might be. Also on the back end, you have, the basics of the logo, the banner, the description, your team members that a lot of the team members will be added in. Well, they will be added in for you. So if you need to add team members, just connect with us and we can make sure that's all there. Leads are somebody who has disclosed their contact information to you. Visits are people who have just visited the page. So if I go back up, a lead is somebody who has clicked this leave your card. They've effectively, again, disclosed their contact information to you, dropped their business card with you, allowed us to share that contact information with you. So that's a lead. They affirmatively clicked that button and said, yes, leave card. You can see the message if they leave a message. Visits are people who just looked at the page, and those are obviously people who are learning a little bit more about you, might not be ready to engage yet, but certainly a good group of people to potentially follow up with. So back over here to winter, again, we have home. We talked a little bit about the exhibitor tab and what your exhibitor page looks like. The other thing I wanted to highlight for folks is schedule a meeting. So let me do it here. You can see it's a very similar setup. So if I come here to schedule a meeting, so I've hovered over schedule and I drop down to schedule a meeting, and I know who I want to meet with. I can continue. And now these can be, it can be one-on-one. I think the upper limit cap is about 35 people. So you can convene, small groups. And I think that there would be a lot of really creative uses of those small group meetings if you have something that is appealing and interesting to folks to lure them in to doing something. That could be a really strong way to use the platform, but it can be one-on-one, it can be 1-on-34. Then when you have the group that you want to use, you navigate down to the calendar, click the time that you want to meet, give the meeting a name and a description, and send an invitation. And what happens there is that Megan receives this invitation, and then it's up to her whether to accept or deny it, just similar to most calendar invites that we receive now, right? It's up to me whether I accept or deny it. And then if Megan accepts it, it ends up on her calendar, on her agenda, and you can proceed from there. If you have questions about setting up these private meetings, please connect with us. We can also do a little bit of it on the back end if something is being a little wonky for you, but it's definitely a feature that historically we haven't seen a ton of people take advantage of, and it really is a perk of the Pathable platform. I mean, Pathable was designed to be a networking system, so we would really encourage folks to take advantage of this smaller group meeting setting that is there. How do you know who's there to meet with? That's the People tab. So if I come over here to the People tab, this is everybody, booth representatives, speakers, attendees, everyone who is at the meeting is here on the People tab. And so you can click on somebody, you can see their picture, their name, their title. Want to meet, that is, if I click want to meet, Donna's not notified, right? That's my internal list of people, and you saw it on the exhibitor page too. So it's an internal list of people or organizations that I want to meet with. So it's a nice way to do some research beforehand, and then you can revisit your want to meet list at a later point. You can schedule a meeting, send a message. Inbox is where those messages appear. Frequently asked questions, just again, a kind of landing place largely for attendees to figure out where they need to go, how they participate in the passport program, how they themselves can set up small group meetings, that type of thing. And if I come here to edit my profile, this is where that want to meet list lives. So if I had selected either people or organizations that I was interested in meeting, that is where that want to meet list would populate. So I know that was a kind of a breeze through. We do have, as I said, all of this strong hat tip to Megan for putting together exhibitor resource guides that have screenshots of everything that I just went through about how to set up your page, how to load in content, the different things that are available on the Pathable platform. So we have it as a guide on that exhibitor resource page. We will also circulate a recording of this video if you are more of a visual learner. And of course, we are available. That is probably the main takeaway I want to share with you is if there is a question or curiosity or something you just want to explore or talk through, we want to do that with you. We want to make sure that this experience is strong for you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and take a peek at the comments. Okay. The first question I see is, does it populate on their Outlook calendar, or is there a personal agenda on Pathable? So yes to both, basically. So when you accept a session, it would happen for a webinar or a small group meeting, one-on-one meeting. There is on that page a button that says, download to my download iCal, basically. So they could add it to their Outlook calendar if they wanted to from that page. There is also a personal agenda page. So when you're in the Pathable platform, you have the overall agenda that shows everything that's happening. And then you have my agenda. And those are the sessions that you said you were interested in attending or the meetings that you accepted. Do most people ask attendees to register for their giveaway via the drop the card link, or should we set up our own link? So I think it would be the physical equivalent of that is drop your business card in the bowl, right? And I will randomly draw somebody for the prize. To translate that, it would be leave your card using the button above, and I will randomly draw a winner from that. And that would be the leads bucket that you would be drawing from. That's obviously separate from the passport prize, where we are the ones doing the drawing. And it's a little bit of a different system, but yes, that's how you could do that. Any other questions? You can also unmute yourself and ask them, or chat them. Okay. Oh, go ahead, Amanda.
I have another question really quick.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you are able to show us how to use the Zoom rooms, like those breakout rooms, because I don't have a lot of experience using those breakout rooms, and I know that our reps that are going to be working the booth may not have experience using those breakout rooms either.
Sure. So it's exactly like it is now, right? What it does is it opens up a Zoom meeting for you. So Pathable is just a hat on Zoom. So let me go ahead and share my screen so that I can show you a little bit more about that. Let me use Winter here. Sorry, I'm just trying to think how I can show it to you, because one is in the past and one is in the future. Neither is occurring right now. So let's see. Let's go to my agenda and click on a session. Okay. So the reason I'm showing this to you is because instead of saying boardable damages and listing the speakers like this session, when somebody goes to the booth, and I'll backtrack and show this to you separately, but when somebody goes to the booth, there is like a join meeting button. When they click join meeting, they are brought to this page, and then it'll say join session right here at the top. That's the attendee experience. They make the button very big, very hard to miss. You, as the admin of the page, actually have early access to your booth. So if I click here to the manage button, which you will see on your booth, you're suddenly kind of behind the curtain. And 20 minutes before the start time, let's say that the exhibit hours are 1 p.m., right? At 12:40, you will have early access to your Zoom room. So that is a good time to, like, do you want the doorbell on or off? Do you want a waiting room on or off? Are there other settings that you want to adjust in your Zoom meeting before people start entering? Those 20 minutes would be a great time to do that. And then 1 minute before the start time, it kind of launches, and that big button suddenly becomes available to attendees to click. What happens when they click it? The Zoom application opens on their computer, and just like you're in a meeting now, they would be in a meeting with you. So how did they get here, right? If you go to Exhibitors, here, as I said, when it's available, it's a yellow button right under here that appears, like right about here, and it'll say like enter for them. Did that help answer your question?
Yeah, so just so I understand, they can go on our virtual booth and look around. And then there will also be a chat option and a Zoom option.
Yes, that's
that correct?
correct. So that conversation box that you saw is there. So they could download files, look at the videos, they could chat in there, or they could go into the meeting room. So a bunch of different.
And you guys, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
And
please
will you
go
guys
ahead.
be sending our specific Zoom link to us for them to be able to join? Or I guess if we're running the booth, there will be a link on our end.
Right. So when you're sitting on your booth page, right, and it's time to open, like let's say it's getting close to 1 o'clock, right? You'll see an upcoming booth thing.
Gotcha.
And click on it, and then the page opens, and that's where you can go to that manage tab, right, and get in a little bit early. And if your representatives are feeling a little shaky about this, because I wasn't able to show you exactly how it will look because I don't have live hours in there right now, I think that would be a great use case to connect with Megan and I, so we can show you like on your page what you will see exactly. And that could be helpful. And Megan, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's just like the screenshots and kind of user guide that you've gotten so far. I also will do one for you guys and for booth reps on how to staff your booth. So it'll have screenshots of like sort of what Noreen described, with first you go here and you click on manage, and then 20 minutes before, you'll click on the meeting. So yeah, but like Noreen said, let me know if you want, to work together and kind of, figure it out so you're nice and prepared beforehand.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, if I ask a question, Kim?
Yes, go ahead, please.
For the Zooms, what we've done is in the beginning of exhibit hours, we just hang out in our Zoom booth the whole time in case someone comes in to visit. Is that the right way to handle that?
So attendees will only be able to access your booth during exhibit hours. So
Right.
Even if the Zoom room stays open beyond that, like let's say you're having a conversation with an attendee in the Zoom room and 2 o'clock rolls around and exhibit hours are technically over, your Zoom room is not suddenly going to go away. You can wrap up your conversation, finish that, and then X out of the Zoom room. But I would only stay in the Zoom room during exhibit hours. And then if you wanted to meet with attendees outside of that time, that's where the small group meetings, one-on-one meetings would be a really good way to go. Did that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant during exhibit hours. We just had our Zoom room open and we were there, right?
Yep, that's correct. And
okay. Thank you.
If you one thing I think would be useful for folks is, because you're going to be the host of the Zoom meeting, if you go to the participants tab all the way down at the bottom, there's a little 3-dot ellipse. If you click on that, you can actually toggle on or off a setting that says play sound when someone joins or leaves. It's a doorbell, right? So making sure that is on is good, so nobody catches you by surprise that they just pop in on you.
Great, thanks.
So, Noreen, I have an additional question to what you just brought up about the meetings. So I know about the exhibits because I'm a veteran. I've been on every platform you've had. So if you set up a separate meeting with someone, but the exhibit hours are closed, I think I remember you can't get into the Zoom room, right? Like I can't get into my own virtual booth to privately talk to them.
And that's where the one-on-one meeting comes in.
So each meeting has a Zoom link
unique
okay.
to it.
That's what I'm asking. So it has nothing. So it's not our booth. They don't go to our booth. We just each has their own. Once the meeting's set up, we have a Zoom link for it. Okay, got it.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
And so that you would go to my agenda, you would click on that meeting, that session, and it's unique to that specific thing.
All right. Perfect.
Any other questions we can help answer? Okay, well, we are here, we are available, ready to brainstorm, ready to work with everyone here to make a very successful Boardwalk seminar. Thank you all very much. We look forward to hearing from all of you.